I've been in this your storm so long. Oh, this your honey come. Oh, this your honey come. Crying, Lord, Lord, give we more time for prayer. I've been in this your storm so long. Red God. And children, yeah, for snowy bit like great God, I get it in the cracky teeth for so much a cracky thing going. I want to bless them, but make them treat each other. Send there way on the tumble. Ain't half a Ricky yard. Grab God, do something. Hard work and kill nobody. Told them. Remember back when we were there, in that carpet, definitely does. Still I know. They're poor old man there. I'm trying to cover the wind and thing for that. So now, then he wonder, why we're leaving the wind run like a shop and broke up fall down. Yeah, strong like a me. We rooted things like that. Oh! Crack! Deep in the soul. Yeah. And I see you for that. Igbo, Mandinka, Maleke, Yuri, Gola, Gizi, Temni, Feet, Bibio. Ah, yes. Yes. Come in, better beast. Yeah, get ya. Walk all in there. Carolina. Cut load of thing, wine money. Walk over in the angle. Some going daddy hand. These your children ain't first will get the dead on the hand, but pick up these sand limit thing. Talk about, oh God, you know I got to do this, y'all. Y'all them bigger than that tail I got you on. And that's how I know I got to do this, y'all. Lord have mercy. Children ain't know how to wear this stuff. Oh, but they love. Them know how to wear this stuff. Oh, I can remember how the ear cracked it. You get together inside that prayer house. And oh, once I saw somebody for rest one. Oh, them children would have started singing. Whose side you leaning on? Leaning on the Lord's side. Whose side you leaning on? Leaning on the Lord's side. Right there. Boy, when they want to sing that thing, oh, it feel like poor prayers who's been to do this. Right along with me. Oh, we could have been there. But it did. Look like these children here that sit and lean and pray and do nothing for the Lord's sake. These little things, they're down. These little things, I can't do this. I can't. I could have done that. Them children, they could have got hard back. But I could have got hard back. After a while, you catch on. You see, but what I don't want people crying with you and say, go on, do them. Start here, what I could do? You ain't first try. Now for that, get yourself together. Yeah. Why don't you put your hand to just a little bit of something? You say, I just want to help you to do it first try. You chill out. Act like they come from darkness. And act like you come from strong. Act like you come from these trifling old things. where you can just hear if you just can't hold on like this. People been a liquid, my daughter like she didn't tell you that. God, oh, I need to say, God before you. Who you be against? So you want them, buck right down the thing say. They're going to throw this one over here and throw these one over there. And then they can't try to keep together and things like that. They ain't going to know who is done tall. Ha! They'll be mean them for you. God mean them. Because instead of that, say, oh, honey, ain't nothing. You ain't going to tell them. That would be nothing and things like that. We the kids together and lay the Lord together. And they'll do this stuff. They ain't care how low you've been when you get there. The time you get in there, get your spirit. Yeah, let one understand. Have to catch your sense. So plenty of time like this. People been a kind of way we today. Yet we the crack we teach so. Then all stand tall. Thought we been a cracky one. We have been a cracky one tall. If otherwise people can't stand that, never before. But they should get on standing. They should ask somebody. Until they used to say, if you don't know, better ask somebody. Instead of do that, oh no, people go hang on, oh no, they can't break it, all the rest of kind of weird, and then all the rest of the turn, they gone, we ain't no wrong with these on you, and all that kind of thing. Then when we come along, and say, well, how can I say it? You can't find me and things like that. Oh, are you a color? No. When I have gone down that road, Jonah, for find the color. I ain't know where they did otherwise. You ain't the one that know. And y'all say we ain't be did it. So I want to go and ask me who I know and I do right you. Right you through the storm, through the wind, through the sun, through the good time and bad time. We be there right you. All through the sea. But see, plenty of time people go on you all the time. Man, wash all the brains. That'll go across the bridge, so then going in the water. Because it sure wash all the brain, wash all the heart, everything. Some wash all the way for come back home. But plenty of time y'all stand, how come when they get it together with their children across yonder, they'll take saying none of what they did. Because their children don't sound like a woman. A lot of times when they get to the main one, they sound like this. But the same way they changed the way they sound was the same way they changed the way they live. So now the roots that were embedded on the sea islands got uprooted when they decided to take the journeys to the mainland. And once the roots get uprooted, oh, it's easy for the tree to fall. And sometimes can't get nothing off nothing for plant gain. Sometimes it dry up right there. There they go. And then people will say, oh yeah, all of them die off. We ain't got that no more. And we right here. That's why when we are kind to all and thing like that, and I look for weird thing, and people are cracking teeth like that, they shouldn't see them coming when you get there and they say, oh, I just heard y'all speaking Gullah. No, you didn't. We don't even know what that is. But when I was coming down the road, I thought I heard, we don't know what you heard, but can we help you? Well, I was actually looking for the Gullah Geechee people. Well, we can't tell you where they are, we don't know. Really? No, you might want to try up the road. Okay, but I was just up the road, they sent me down here. Really? Where were you? I was in Charleston. Oh, and where they sent you? They sent me here to Buford. Oh, no, well, you might have want to go to Savannah. We don't know where it is. Soon as they walk away, gallon cracker people are coming here again and things like that. That one says, see, we and things like that. And still going back on and say we ain't there. So why am I going to ask you if you don't even understand what we're doing? So the question becomes, which world do you live in and which world do you live in effectively? But when you live in somebody else's world for too long, and you begin to behave like that world behaves, sometimes you can never get your way back home. You uprooted everything that you had that held you solidly in the ground. So it don't take much to push you over, knock you down, uproot you. And now you ain't got no bush arbor, you ain't got no prayers house, you ain't got no church, you ain't got nobody to tell you to get up from there. You stay down long enough, you don't know what up is, somebody told me one day. When this man told me that day, I said, thank God I've never been that low, that I didn't know what up was. Because I could always look up and knew there was help. And it would always bring back them same voices that I heard coming up, down the dark road. In the church, in the prayer house, on the porch. Yeah, like Big Daddy Mama that used to sit from and they had a claw that they beat a fool them up so much and things like that. Till them they don't fall no claws. They think this the falling claws, yeah. That ain't a falling claw, that'll mash them up, that'll throw them down. Back on you to see them folks, they do all of this shit. Get that thing like a this shell like time and put that thing away, put over the thing to the iron and starch them off. Boy, I tell you, you ought to put that thing together and ain't care if you ain't behind but two shirts. You keep them clean, you keep them neat. That way you can have for long as you need for help. And it will tell you how to put your things away. Take care of where you got it, you can get more. But if you not take care of it, don't come back to them. But nothing tall. And people would say, well, how y'all gonna do like that and survive all these things? I said, because you know, sometimes when time it get hard and things like that, you could be by yourself and all of a sudden, suddenly everybody did it with you. And you could have yelled anything like, walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. Great camp meeting in the promised land. Spirit will raise up. Because they're like all your ancestors, they're right there with you. All the elders, they're right there with you. Carrying on there in that bush arbor, that brush arbor. Letting you know, now as you reach back and reach up, you're going to be all right. So that thing carries through the storm, that thing carries through the hard work. That thing carries through all the rest of people try to take because we went quite at the shelf. We can't be none. Oh yeah. A lot of Gullah Geechees were told, oh, you'll never go anywhere in the world speaking that way. And it's kind of interesting that now people all around the world want to hear us speak like this and things like that. Nobody cares if you can speak like this. Because half the world does. But half the world does because somebody else came in from Europe and then commanded and demanded that they speak that way. Not that God gave them that tongue to speak in. As we would say, not tall. So we be glad when we know so we could have cracked we teeth on with the other rest of people that walk around can't stand tall though. So we get together, we are very happy that we're bilingual. Although others, don't think you're bilingual until you say, oh, ¿qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás? Or je parle français. Many of us are multilingual. But if you have never been through what others have been through, sometimes you take their plight lightly. You take their culture, their journey lightly. You think that there are no roots to their tree. But I'm here to tell you, there'd be no America if there weren't the Gullah Geechee. And the Gullah Geechees have thrived and survived through storm after storm, even through the Middle Passage, as they were in the belly of the beast. our ancestors journeyed 3 and 4 months at a time, sandwiched together. Folk used to understand when I would crack my teeth and say like a sardine in a can and thing like that. But now I'm chilling, microwave everything, so you probably ain't supposed to know what sardine does. So since y'all microwave anything, let me think what y'all might know what it look like. Franks in a package. So you know how tight they are together, right? You know how they lay on top of each other. Maybe you don't even know that because you're busy going to other people's house after they even boil the Franks. You can't even boil a Frank. You never bought a pack of Franks. Your mom and daddy did it, right? A lot of folks think that food grows in the supermarket, but it doesn't. It took hands to harvest. Took hands to raise the same livestock that end up turning into them Franks. And the people who had to work, we worked together. That's why we had those cadences to those songs to keep the rhythm going, to keep your spirit up while you work. But now, what do people do? Put plugs in their own ears and have their own set of music playing by themselves. So it's a wonder that if you get down, there ain't nobody to pick you up. Because nobody even know what you're going through. You side by side and you have no conversations with each other. So how could you ever weather a storm? Because when it's time to put things together to prepare for a storm, you need some hands. You need hands working. You need groups of people coming together saying, hey, you hold the board and I'll nail it. And after the storm is done, you might need somebody just to pray with you and tell you how we're going to make it through this. But if your whole world is only a chalk outline around yourself, you did the right thing as outlining your body in chalk. Because although you're walking around, you're not living. Because living people don't stay in outlines that other people create for them to get into. So that's why Gullah Geechees never stayed in the boxes that people created for us. Even after we got out of the belly of the beast, we got out of being sandwiched together like sardines chained down. When we got out, we emerged with strength, which wasn't expected. So then the Igbo, Mandinka, Malinke, Yoruba, Gola, Gizi, Mendi, Tembi, Fiki, Bibio, who were then sold at Sullivan's Island in Charleston County, South Carolina, where over 40% of all Africans enslaved in North America came through. Didn't get off with their heads down. They got off with their heads up, chains on, looking around. And that was a problem. So now they put them in pest houses or pestilence houses to season them, to beat them, to starve them, to do anything that they could to get them to stop looking up, and look down. Stop being an Igbo, stop being a Mandinka, stop being a Gola, stop being a Gullah. Don't throw them down like Adisha. Make them the other rest of the way so that we can understand everything we're going to children to do, because if one of them try to get together and things like that, but rise up and things like that, we want to make sure we stop. But if a person cannot capture your spirit in the box, they cannot take control of your freedom. But many have had their spirits captured by a box, the dummy box. Y'all call it the TV. And then when you say, well, I don't want to pay for the TV, they helped you out. They made it small. They let you put it in your pocket now. They call it a cell phone. And so as long as I can capture your spirit into this device and have you look at what I want you to look at, you don't look up. And you don't look here into the spirits and the souls of your own people. But our ancestors did that. And that's what gave them the power, the strength to continue to weather the storms and survive and thrive when others thought they were 3/5 of human beings. They proved that they were 5/5 and whole people. They proved that whatever term you want to call me, I don't have to answer to this N-word because nobody set foot off that ship named with that N-word. So they didn't answer to it. People died not answering to it because they still knew how to look up. But when it got to the point that some were so well seasoned that they would look down, and they would look down, and they would look down, and they would look down. They could call them any word that disgraced them in an entire race, and they would accept it, and they would call their children, their brothers, their sisters, their girlfriends, their mama, their daddy, and anybody else this N-word. And think it was fun. And think it was a term of endearment. And try to say, well, we're taking ownership of it, so now that means we have changed the meaning of it. You haven't changed the meaning of it. You've spoken into existence what it used to mean. Lazy, shiftless individual. So lazy, you won't look up. Look up, even into a book, your story, your history. Before there was Google, there was a thing called a book. And when folks would tell you, go look it up, when you didn't know something, they would say, go look it up. They meant go read. Oh, the thing that was banned from African people in 1740 due to the slave codes. Those slave codes came about because Angolans who were on the sea islands had an uprising, bless you, called the Stono Rebellion. And it was such a powerful rebellion that people made a law against 3 or more Africans gathering together without an overseer present. Africans are not to read or to write. And some of y'all act like that law is still in effect on the books. Africans are not to own land. Some of us are acting like that law is still in effect on the books. But if we looked up and looked up information, you would have known that at every chance Gullah Geechees have had, we broke every last one of those laws. They just didn't want to write that down no more because some of y'all might get an idea. So here it is, that the storm that rages now is not the same as the ones that can be predicted by the Weather Channel. The storm that rages now is that says that African people cannot and will not get together to learn about themselves. That we have become accustomed to the way in which other people have dressed our story. We become ashamed of recognizing that our ancestors who worked in the fields, worked there, was able to work there from dead clean to dust because of their strength, not because of weakness. We do not look at the traditions, the culture, and recognize that it's other people who want to keep you from knowing your story so that you don't feel you have a legacy, so that you don't feel that you have anything to value in your life, that you have to wait till somebody else shows it to you when actually it's hidden in plain view. Your own village, your own people, your own economics, your own land ownership, your own language, your own traditions, your own culture, your own heritage, that all took root the moment the first African set foot off the ship on a sea island in North America. And the first baby that they caught, and that placenta, they buried right there in the yard and rooted our traditions and our culture in this land. From Jacksonville, North Kakalaki to Jacksonville, Florida. That's right. All the sea islands. There you go, sister. That's right. The rest of that church kid. Thank you. At least you know why I'm talking. Okay. And 30 to 35 miles inland to the St. Johns River is the Gullah Geechee Nation. But did you know you have your own nation within a nation? Or did you think America was the only nation in the world? Because if you only hear this language, everywhere you go, you start to think that. But understand, when I go to England, darling, the Queen there doesn't believe you speak English or anything anyway. American English is a dialect. But they said that Gullah was a dialect of English, but yet when I'm going to crack my teeth like this and thing like that with her show and all these, then y'all going to look at me like I've been crazy.
That's right.
So if I was speaking a dialect of English, y'all wouldn't have been looking at me like I was crazy when I was speaking another language. But if someone taught you that any language other than that of those who started the chattel enslavement of African people is the only language of value, then I understand why any other language shocks you. Those are the same people that have you believing that African people at all times never had shoes. We had shoes.
Yep.
So when they Hollywoodize our story, they often have us without shoes. That's why I come out without shoes. I just need y'all to connect. I need you to feel it. But St. Helena Island, where I'm from, not Charleston, St. Helena Island, in Beaufort County, South Carolina, we taught shoe lasting. We taught how you attach the top to the bottom of the shoe. Back during chattel enslavement. So you tell me why we would have had shoes back then, and in the movies, we barefoot. That's because someone needs to put an image in your mind. And the more you see the image, you start to think that's who you are. And that's who you descend from. So the more you don't hear your own mother tongue like that, they share things like that, and when you hear them, you snicker. You think it's comedy. But the comedy is when you can't speak another language and you need to go into another country and deal with other people. Or people ask you, well, what's your language? What's your tradition? What's your culture? There's no language called America. There's no tradition called America. There's no culture called America. So they're going to ask you somewhere else, what's yours? Would you be able to answer that question? That's the critical point. And if you couldn't before you came in here tonight, you need to go sit on grandmama porch, a granddaddy porch, out in the yard, and you need to work with them, work together, children. Because they'll tell you about your family. And I know some of y'all say, my granddaddy ain't but 50 years old, but then go to your great-granddaddy and great-grandma. Go to the oldest person you can find in the community. And some of them are over 100. And let them tell you how they weathered the storms. So when I had to travel here, after having been in probably my 5th now between hurricanes and tropical storms on St. Helena Island where I'm from, I actually stayed on the island during Hurricane Matthew. Just like I stayed on the island for David and Floyd and Sandy and then Hermine. That was a tropical storm. And there was a lot of things I could have talked about tonight. And I thought about that word, storm. And God said to me, that's what you need to talk about. Surviving traditions onset by the recovery movement. There are a lot of people who've forgotten what our traditions are as African people in the Carolinas. One of those traditions is how to work together. That you don't think that the world starts and stops with yourself, but that there are people all around you and that you need to be a part of them and they need to be a part of you. So that whenever you're in need, somebody's right there to help you.